Hey, everyone. Today we are going to take a look at the product rule of exponents. What does product mean in math? Anybody know? Product means multiply. Yes. So I'm going to read the first problem to you, and then we're going to try to simplify it. It says 3 times 3 times x times x times x times y times y times y times y. There's a lot of variables there. Let's try condensing it. So the first thing I want you to think about, all of these have an exponent of 1. It's 3 to the 1, 3 to the 1, x to the 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 1. If there is no exponent, it's understood to have a 1. And what the product rule for exponents is, when you're multiplying and the bases are the same, this 3 and 3, those are bases. It's a base to an exponent. If the bases are the same, you can bring down that base and just add the exponents. 1 plus 1 is 2. Now look at the x's. There's 1, 2, 3 x's. The bases are the same. They're all x's. So I can add the exponents. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. And then we've got a base here of y that's common to 4 of them. So I could put the base down and add the 4 ones. And there's my answer. If you want, you can simplify 3 squared, which is 3 times 3, 9. So we got 9x cubed y to the 4th. So the first thing I want you to get out of that is that everything has an exponent. So if it doesn't have one, it's understood to be 1. And my advice to you when you're using the rules of exponents is to always put the 1 in there so you don't forget about it. So let's look at the next one. We have x to the 5th times x. Again, the first thing I'm going to do is put the 1 there. Now, the bases are the same. Remember, it's a base to an exponent. The big number is the base. The little number is the exponent. When the bases are the same, and they're both x's, and you're multiplying, you just add the exponents together, 5 plus 1. So x to the 5th times x to the 1 is x to the 6th. And that's it. Remember, bases have to be the same. Everything has an exponent. Let's take a look at the next one. Remember, this is the rules for exponents. The number 2 and the number 7, those aren't little exponents. Those are coefficients. You just multiply the coefficients like you would any other number. 2 times 7 is 14. Now, we have similar bases here. They're both x's. And we're multiplying. So carry the x along and add the exponents. 3 plus 3 is 6. And you're done. Remember, this is just the rules for exponents. And I'm going to keep saying that over and over again because I've known from the past from teaching that a lot of students would have went 2 plus 7 is 9. No, these are not, 2 and 7 are not exponents. You're just taking 2 times 7. Just like in the next one. This is a coefficient, this 9, and so is the 5. That's just 9 times 5, which is 45. Now you've got 2 equal bases. You're multiplying, so you can add the exponents. 2 plus 2 is 4. How are we doing? Everybody doing okay? All right, let's take a look at the next one. Another thing I want to show you. In the next problem, we have 5x cubed times 1x to the 4th. If there's nothing there, it's understood to be a 1. So again, you're still multiplying the numbers in front. 5 times 1 is 5, and then the bases are the same. Carry it along. You're multiplying so you can add the exponents. 3 plus 4 is 7. How are we doing? Let's take a look at the next one. Now, we don't need to have those parentheses there. We can write this as c to the 3rd, c to the 2nd, c to the 4th. If you want to put dots in between them to show that you're timesing, that's fine, but it's not necessary. When I do this, all the bases are the same. So I'm going to carry it along. It's all multiplying, so we're going to add all the exponents. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 4 more is 9, and we're done. Ta-da! Okay, what do we have in this next one? Remember, everything out front's a 1. So this is 1m times negative 1m squared times negative 1m cubed. Now, the negative is not squared, only the m's are. And in the other one, the m cubed, that negative is not squared, it's just the m. So multiply what's outside. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. If you got two negatives and you're multiplying, your answer is positive. So that gives us 1. So now, right away, this doesn't have an exponent, put a 1 there. They're all m's, so carry down that common base. And then 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6, and that's your answer. It's not too bad, is it? What are we learning? When the bases are the same and we're multiplying, we add the exponents. The numbers out front called the coefficients, we're just multiplying those numbers because they're not exponents. Remember, the rule is only for the exponents, those little numbers sitting above the base. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. I'm going to rewrite it. I got 4x1 y1 times negative 3x cubed y to the 1 times 2x to the 1 y to the 4th. Again, you see how I put those ones in there for exponents because I don't want to forget about them. Now, let's take a look here. What do we have out front? We've got a 4, a negative 3, and a 2. We've got one negative. So when you're multiplying, you have one negative, your answer is going to be negative. So if it's odd number of negatives, it's negative. If it's even number, like in the last problem, it's going to be positive. 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. Times 2 is negative 24. Now, everything is multiplied, so let's take a look at our common bases. We have x's here. There's an x, there's an x, and there's an x, and it's all multiplying. Since it's all multiplying, we add the exponents. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. Now look at your y's. We got a y, and a y. 1 plus 1 is 2, and 4 more makes 6. So bring down your y, and it'll be to the 6th, and you're done. How are we doing? Now, the next page is going to be just a little more difficult. I want to challenge you guys a little bit. So let's take a look at the next page. It's the same stuff. We're still using the multiplication property, or product property. So we're still multiplying. Let's take a look at the first one. We've got 2. Oops, I want to change that color. Let's use black. Erase that. All right, 2 to the first, if you want to put a 1 there, x to the first, y to the 9th, minus 4. If you wanted to put a 1 there, you could. We don't have common bases, so it doesn't matter for the numbers out front. X squared, y to the 4th, z. Okay, let's make sure I copy that first. 2x1, and this is times negative 4. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, let's look at the coefficients, the numbers out front, and let's multiply them. 2 times negative 4 is negative 8. Now let's look at our y's. We've got a y here and a y here. Bring down the base. We're multiplying, so add the exponents. 1 plus 2 is 3. Now we've got a couple y's. There's a y there and a y there. We're multiplying, so bring down your base and then add your exponents. 9 plus 4 is 13. And then we've got this z sitting by itself, so we'll just carry it down. It's all we're doing. When the bases are the same, and you're multiplying, you add the exponents. Let's take a look at the next one. We have 2 to the 5th, or 2 to the 4th, excuse me, times 2 to the 5th times 2 squared. Even though they're numbers, they're still bases. That's 2 to the 4th, 2 to the 5th, and 2 to the 2nd. The bases are the same, so carry it along. Don't multiply the bases together. Then add your exponents. 4 plus 9, 5 is 9, plus 2 is 11. So it's 2 to the 11th. And if you want to do that on your calculator, you can. So that's the difference here. With the last problem, I multiplied 2 times -4. They were not common bases, so I just multiplied the numbers. Here, the bases are all 2's, so I carry the 2 along, and then I just add the exponents. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Up front, we have a 6 and an 8. Well, 6 times 8 is 48. They're not exponents, so I'm multiplying them. Then let's look at our m's. We're multiplying, so I got 3 and 2 makes 5. And then look at the ends. 3 plus 3 is 6, and we're done. La 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 la. How's everyone doing? If you need help, you know I'm here for you. All right, let's take a look at the next one. We've got u, and I'm going to put a 1 there. V, I'm going to put a 1 there, times 4u to the 1, v to the 5th. There's nothing out front here. If you want to put a 1 there, you can. So what are we going to do first? We're going to multiply those coefficients out front. I've got a 1 times 4, which is 4. Everything is multiplying, so we're using the product rule. We've got a common u in both of them, so let's bring down the u and then add the exponents. 1 and 1 makes 2. Now we've got a common v for bases. And how many do we have together? There's one v to the 1 and v to the 5. That makes v to the 6. And you're done. Whew. How are we doing, everyone? Are we catching on? The coefficients you multiply. The exponents you add. Just remember that. The numbers up front, the big numbers, you are multiplying. The properties are for the exponents only. So let's take a look at the next one. I've got 7, 10, and 8 outside. So 7 times 10 is 70, times 8 is 560. Now, we're multiplying. Let's look at our common bases. We got a v to the 3rd, a v to the 5th, and a v to the 3rd. So I'm going to bring down the common base, and then I'm going to add the exponents. 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 3 is 11. Then I also have some u's here. Oh, we should put a 1 there for that u. Don't forget that. I've got 3 and 1 makes 4, and I'm done. Look how easy it is just to bring these together. If you can add and multiply, you're golden here. All right, next one. What's the first thing we should do? I say we put a 1 on that b at least. I don't need to do it for the 5 and the 8. I was just showing you that they are 5 to the 1, 8 to the 1. Now, multiply out front. 5 times 8 is 40. Oops. Hold on a second. My pen kind of went crazy. 40. Now, we got a common base of b. Bring it down. 2 and 1 makes 3. And you're done. I'm going to write that a little lighter in a lighter color. So it's 40b to the 3. Look at this next one. We're going to start by writing it without the parentheses. And you can leave it in the parentheses. Actually, let's just leave it in the parentheses and do it this way. So we're going to multiply all those coefficients, the numbers up front. 4, 5, and -3. I'm multiplying and I have 2 negatives. 2 is even, which means my answer is going to be positive. 4 times 5 is -20. -20 times -3 is 60. And I don't like that color. I'm going to change it up a little bit. Let's go back to black, see if that shows up better. 60. 0. There we go. All right, now let's look, are there any F's common? Sure, there's an F here and there's an F here. We're multiplying, so let's bring the F down and add those exponents. 9 plus 6 is 15. La la. Oh, I don't like that 15 either. I'm going to erase that and write that better. Do, 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 do. 15. Okay, then let's look at our H's. I got a H to the third and an H to the second. I'm multiplying, so I'm going to bring down that H. 3 plus 2 is 5. And we're done. 60 F to the 15th, H to the 5. All right, one more, you guys, one more. We got this. If you can, stop the video every so often and try a problem yourself and see if you get it right. I have confidence that you can do this. You can do it. You can do it. Yay. All right. So the next one, the coefficients are 5 and what? What's the coefficient for this term right here? It's -1. You got 1 negative, so it's going to be negative in my answer. 5 times -1 is -5. Now, I've got 3p, I got p to the third here and p to the second here. The bases are both p's. I'm multiplying, so I'll bring it down. And then just add them. 3 plus 2 is 5. And then we got this lonely m to the 8th sitting here that we'll just bring down. And you're done. La, 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 la. All right, that's the end of our review of product properties of exponents. Remember, again, product means multiplication. I hope you have a good day, and I hope this is helpful. Au revoir.